Caldwell was certainly Canada's first retained executive search firm. It's been around a very long time. It's been around since the early 70s. And it had been solely a Canadian firm through the first, nearly 40 years of its history. And management changed over around 2008, 2009, and we launched into the US. Shortly after that in Europe, and we are now truly a global firm. About 85% of our revenue actually comes out of the US right now, seeing Europe grow. Canada's been fairly stable. So we're kind of like a funky Canadian-based and headquartered organization that has, more external presence than it does internally. We work with Nick and Cave. Caldwell has worked with Compunet for longer than I've been with Caldwell. And I started working here for the very first time in 1997. So the history with Compunet is a long and tight one. It started out in one way. The relationship's gone all over the place. It's grown and we've gotten closer, but we've really, really grown the relationship and gotten a lot closer over the last 5 years or so. They've always played the most crucial role in our organization, which is help, we have an emergency. That's the bond that has kept us together through thick and thin. They've always been there when we've really needed them. Help, we have an emergency, something terrible has happened. Help, we have an emergency, we need to roll out this new software. Help, we need to change the way we operate our network. They've always been there for the biggest and most important tasks. At any time of the day. 6 or 7 years ago, our IT guys were making a hardware switch out and they didn't have a good schema of the cabling and they went to put it back together again and they couldn't figure it out and they couldn't get the network up and running. And we had promised the firm that the network would be down for a couple of hours. And this is like 9 a.m. on a Saturday Eastern time. And we called Cave at 9 a.m. Eastern time, which, as we all know, is 6 a.m. Pacific time on a Saturday morning. And Cave, as he made coffee and got himself out of bed, walked us through the process of recabling everything and getting it all put back together again in the course of an hour or two. And we probably ruined his weekend. And, but he did it all with a sense of humor. He did it all expertly. That's the sort of level of commitment we've had from these guys forever. More recently, so over the last, I don't know, how has it been 12 months or 18 months? I think it's been less than 12 months now. As you probably know, they now manage our help desk. We have internal IT resources, but we've just grown to the point where we can't support everybody with who we have in-house. And we just think it makes way more sense and it's way more efficient to have a help desk take care of that. And Compunet is managing that service. So we have 24/7 support through this help desk, which is very important for us because we have a lot of business on the west coast of the US. We have a lot of business in Europe and UK. The time zone that we're working in now is enormous. The security is being managed entirely by Compunet. If our people have any technical questions, which they often and usually do, Compunet is our like consigliere, if you will, for all questions. But our insurance companies are now putting intense pressure on us. Like, if you want cybersecurity coverage, you have to have these 10 boxes checked. And one box we didn't have checked was cybersecurity training for everybody. And Compunet is helping us roll that out right now.